So today we're going to one of the cities in the Philippines that's dear to our heart, Carcar City. You guys may have seen in some previous videos, we went out to Carcar to give some bikes away and connect with the beatboxing twins out there in Carcar City and see Rio and Miguel, their cousins that we're good friends with as well. Today we're gonna go along to Carcar for quite a different reason. We're gonna see how they've been impacted by the typhoon. So buckle up your seatbelts and let's go. So we're in Carcar today and we are talking to some of the locals to see how Typhoon Odette, Typhoon Rai, as it's been spoken about internationally, has impacted them. You know, I first was quite concerned about how Carcar was doing because I reached out to Jake and Joemar, the beatboxing twins, and their cousins Rio and Miguel, to just see how they were all doing. And I didn't hear back from them for actually weeks. I thought they're probably okay, but you know, when you really care about people and you don't hear from them after a typhoon, it's impossible to know for sure. And as the weeks went by, it was really more and more concerning what was going on. So we also wanted to make sure that they were doing okay, which fortunately we received news that they are. But today we're talking to some of the local street vendors and others to see how Typhoon Odette impacted them. So some of these women that you could see here, this is their day-to-day job. They're out there in Carcar City where the eye of the typhoon, super typhoon, landed, and they're selling sweets and other things to be able to make a living. And you could see that even though some of these people lost their roofs, lost whole homes, lost everything they owned in some situations, they're still out here waking up early to go out on the streets of Carcar to do whatever they have to take to provide for themselves, provide for their kids, provide for their family. Believe me, this is not easy. The stress of going through a typhoon, through working a long day and then going home where you don't have electricity, you still don't have running water. It's so much harder than you could even imagine. So I really commend these women that you see out there today that are doing whatever it takes to make things happen and to provide for their family.
Sino kang plywood mo nangalupad? Sabi na mo dili kay sa puso. Kay kato lang Yolanda wala mong gani nang maunsang amo. Wala gyud. Kato grabe to si Udit. Oros gyud ang balay. Grabe to si Udit sa kamatita. Way gipili madato pobre gikaon.
We had time to talk to Rowena. Rowena sells something that here in the Philippines is called puso, kind of a hanging rice. Tastes really good, and a lot of street vendors will sell it. It's very commonplace here, and you can see that Rowena is using this as a means to try to get something back that was lost.
Pait jud kayo oy kay akong tanang gamit na nada sa payag nako. Nya. Botong gi. Dali-dalian na lang ko gimo og payag sa akong bana kay para maka tinda lang jud ko. Kay wa naman koy kahaunan. Narasan mi diri maghigda sa amo ang haunanan. Oh, dire. Perting gola kay akong payag wa naman ugbok naman sa sapa. Dili ni among niyuta. Igora mi tukod dire ni hangyo mistagiya kay maninda kog puso.
Rowena had her entire house lost, and she had to relocate and also find new places to sell puso in order to try to make things happen for her family. So not only did they have everything destroyed, but they really have to think in the moment with so much struggle of how do they actually pack their bags and pick everything up and be able to go to a new location, to be able to find shelter, to be able to sell again puso, to be able to make some money back for their family. And I gotta say, puso doesn't sell for much. It's really a pretty cheap type of food over here. And so she's having to find a way to sell to other people who also have lost so much. So it's not an easy task. People like Rowena are really on our hearts, and we're really trying to find ways to be able to raise more funds to be able to take care of them. I've been helping out as much as I can with supplying lumber and labor for new roofs and more to help people rebuild their homes. It's just not something that I could afford to do with everybody that comes along my path. And so I've been really encouraged. Some of you have reached out and said, how can we help other people in the Philippines that are still struggling with this typhoon?
Mahimo, mga kog ginabang para sa kahoy o sen o wire para sa suga na mo. Kaya mo suga na datugan man sa Korea kanang kahoy. Maura ni akong panginabuhi kaning pamuso. Mangutang lang mig bugas para ipapuhunan. Para ako makatinda. Magilis na siya, siya ay maglilas. Siya magkuha sa tukog sa lukay ba?
Oo.
You know, guys, I know that this was news weeks ago now, and so many people kind of feel like the typhoon came, it landed, it destroyed a bunch of stuff, but every once in a while I'll hear news of electricity coming back or water, you know, being a little bit easier to get here and there. But actually on the ground here, we are still very far from a full recovery. It's really going to truly be months and months and months before everything is rebuilt. Yes, electricity has slowly come back in some places. After 3 weeks, we just got electricity back at where Grace and I live, but many other places still won't receive electricity for who knows. When you hear from different official sources, sometimes they give you different times because everybody's doing their best to estimate something that is incredibly difficult to estimate. So the people that we're seeing here today really still need our help. Guys, thanks for coming along with us to Carcar City. Keep these guys in your prayer. We're hoping for a quick recovery to Carcar. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and take care.